Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this is going to be a love and spirituality reading for air signs, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. And this can be for your sun, moon, or Venus sign. Actually, you can check for your rising sign as well, because a few people in my element readings, they were saying that it resonated with their rising sign. So air signs, sun, moon, Venus, and rising. So let's see what's going on with you for the rest of April. When I was shuffling your cards earlier and meditating on your energy, I was getting a very angry, aggressive sort of energy, actually. It was an energy of kind of feeling impatient from what I was picking up, lacking clarity, which would infuriate an air sign, like when you cannot make up your mind about something, or when something is just confusing, especially if it was dealing with someone who was purposely trying to confuse you. And I was also getting that a lot of you could just be feeling like your time was wasted, and that's why you're a bit frustrated or a bit irritated. So all of that energy could just be coming to the surface with this Libra full moon. So let's see, air signs. All right, what are the past positions? What's the past position for Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini? And I'll also be doing an extended video, so that will be in the description box down below. So make sure you check that out when you're done with this one. Okay, air sign past. Four of Pentacles, Six of Wands, the High Priestess. So with the Four of Pentacles being here in the past position, some of you could have been dealing with someone who was kind of emotionally closed off, or this could be you basically making the decision to close off your energy, from what I'm getting. I think that a lot of you are really, or in the past, you were really starting to think about what's important in your life and what isn't. It's kind of like checks and balances, like kind of taking inventory of your life and seeing, okay, what has been helping me and what has been hindering me, and then making the conscious decision to get rid of the things that have been hindering you. And I feel like a lot of you who did do that, you started to enter the Six of Wands energy of feeling very successful, feeling very triumphant. You could have closed out a very hectic cycle, for what I'm seeing, and it looks like the cycle involves you learning how to protect your energy, or learning how to remove things or people from your life that are no longer serving you. So I'm getting that some of you had like a spiritual success, or like a spiritual completion to a cycle. And I think that some of you with the Six of Wands, you could be someone who a lot of people will look up to in some way, or it's like a lot of people look to you for guidance in some way, because you've been through, like I said, this difficult cycle. And it's almost like people have seen you go through this cycle, so they're kind of like wanting you to give them advice on how to get through their own, if that makes sense. And it doesn't have to mean that you're like a tarot reader or a YouTuber or something like that. It could mean like friends and family, that you're like the go-to person to give advice, because you, like I said, you've gone through these very hectic or difficult relationships or spiritual lessons, and so now you have a lot of knowledge to give to other people. So it looks like I said, in the past, this situation could have boosted your confidence, because you finally learned how to put yourself first and kind of walk away. So this is a good energy, I think. This could also mean, for those of you who that didn't resonate with, this could also mean that there was success after someone closed their emotions off from you, meaning that you learned how to leave that behind, and you found like this sense of accomplishment because you finally were able to detach or release yourself from someone who just didn't value you the way that they should, or someone who just doesn't value the right things in general. Like this could be someone who, like, they value money over everything else, or they value their image, or it's like they're very egotistical, and so they value all of these external things, and they kind of block out the love and the emotions that you were trying to give to them. And so it's like you finally made the conscious decision to walk away from that situation, and you felt very victorious by walking away from it. So that's a good thing. Sorry if I keep on like looking over here. It's so weird because I'm not filming with my regular camera. I'm filming with my phone, so the camera's like, it's kind of hard to explain. But so if I look off over there, that's why. But then we have the High Priestess being in the reverse. So I feel like for some of you, this very well could be talking about another person that was involved in a situation that you were in, like an outside energy. just going to say exactly how I hear it, even though this is not the best message. It could have been someone like another woman, a side piece, something along those lines, coming up with this high priestess energy. That could have been what caused some of you to walk away from that situation. But sometimes it doesn't have to be that with the high priestess in reverse, though. This could also be talking about your intuition and you at first not following your intuition or not trusting it, but then eventually you kind of like waking up and following your gut feeling instead of letting this person dictate what you were going to choose to do. See what I'm saying? So it's kind of like this. If you were with someone who was emotionally closed off, you're wondering or thinking like, okay, maybe I should leave this person alone because it doesn't seem like they care about me as much as I care about them. So instead of following that intuition, you might then go to this person and ask this person, hey, I think that I want to leave you because, you know, you don't show me enough love, or I don't think that you care about me the way I care about you. Is that true? And then they'll be like, no, I actually do love you. I actually do care about you. So they'll tell you one thing, but then their actions are showing something different. And I think you were following their words over your intuition, if that makes sense. I hope that that makes sense. But then finally, you decide to trust your gut feeling. This could have been some gaslighting. That sounded like gaslighting, right? Like when someone tries to make you question your own sanity. So you could have been dealing with somebody like that. Oof. Very negative energy. But not all of you. Not all of you were dealing with someone who was doing that to you. But I just think that overall, when we get into these connections that are very emotionally charged, it's very easy to kind of believe what we want to believe instead of like what's actually happening. And it's funny because with air signs, you would think that, you know, because we're so logical, that we don't get caught up in those situations. But that's exactly why we get caught up in it, because sometimes we are overthinking the situation. Like sometimes we need to quiet our mind in order to get in touch with our intuition. And because air signs are always thinking all the time, it could actually be too much noise in our head and we're drowning out the intuition that's supposed to be coming through. See what I'm saying? But I think that a lot of you actually broke free from that energy and finally listened to your intuition. But I want to pull one more for that High Priestess card. Let's see. Yeah, the 6 of Swords. So moving into calmer waters. I really think that a major lesson in this situation was learning how to move away from situations that were not bringing you peace, because you couldn't get in touch with your own intuition when your mind was currently or constantly in a state of confusion. Some of you, because the word currently came out, some of you could still be in this energy. It just depends on which cycle or which part of the cycle that you're in. A lot of us are going through similar situations, but we could be in different stages of it. So some people could be kind of like further along. Some people could just be starting, things like that. But overall, I think that the major lesson that's meant to be learned here is how to trust your gut feeling, how to trust your intuition, and to learn how to remove people and situations from your life that don't bring you peace. And this doesn't have to always be romantic. Just kind of take it and apply it to your life. So this could be a job, this could be, you know, a friendship, this can be family. So just kind of take it and apply it the way that it resonates. But yeah, peace of mind should come first over anything else, because without that peace of mind, it's very, very difficult for you to hear your inner voice and your inner guidance. And then you end up going on the wrong path and in the wrong direction. So let's see what's going on for the present. This 4 of Pentacles card is creeping me out, and I never see that card like that. But it's like I'm getting the energy of like someone who's staring, like someone, like that person from your past could be watching you, like on social media or something like that. It's like this cold stare that I'm getting from this 4 of Pentacles. It's really creeping me out. Some of you could have been dealing with someone who's very cold-hearted, possibly. No, that energy is like so strange. Death card in reverse. The present for air signs. The 5, okay. All right, so present position, we have the Death card in the reverse. So the Death card being in the reverse, it looks like it's a situation that's trying to transform, but it's not ending for some reason. It's stuck. I'm really thinking that I'm picking up on a lot of different messages right now, so I'm trying to sort through them. If you were dealing with someone in the past who was emotionally closed off, their energy is still tied to yours because the situation did not come to a close. Their energy is still, they're either watching you or you're watching them. There's some sort of interaction that's still happening that's keeping this cord stuck and tied together because it's not ending. Like I said, the Death card in the upright is like an ending to a situation, a final ending. The Death card in reverse is like an ending that's not happening. It's like an ending that's pending. I think I'm going to name the reading that, ending that's pending. And I think that the reason it's pending is because there's still some sort of spiritual connection, soul tie, soul connection, because the two people involved, or it could be a group of people, just depending on your situation, it's like they're still thinking about each other or they're still watching each other. The energy is still being fed. So it's not coming to a complete close because the energy is being fed in some way. This could be even like if you're cross-watching tarot readings for them. Like, oh, they are a Cancer, so I'm watching the Cancer reading this month. That could keep you energetically tied to someone because then your mental, it's like your thought process is focused on them. And that keeps that spiritual tie very tight to what I'm seeing. So the 5 of Pentacles is also here. I think that this is not ending because it's this feeling of abandonment. Like, it's very difficult to close out a cycle when one person or both people feel rejected or abandoned, because as long as one person is holding on to that energy, it's almost like the two people involved remain stuck, is what I'm seeing. So the way that this situation ended could have been that it ended abruptly in some way, because the way that you get someone hooked on you or addicted to you, even if it's not purposely, is cutting something off without clarity and cutting something off without any type of closure. That goes for anything though. Like if you're doing some sort of activity and you stop midway through it, it's been psychologically proven that you're more likely to obsess over it until you finally get it done. So things that are cut off abruptly and like halfway through, things that you're emotionally invested in, that are cut off abruptly and like before things come to an end fully, it's like those are the things that are most addictive, and those are the things that our mind continuously pulls us back to. So that could be what's happening here. If there's some sort of rejection within the connection, it could be pulling your mind back. So you could be in that energy or the other person. It's like, I feel like some type of up and down, like a roller coaster with this energy, because it's like, I feel like I'm over this, and then it's like down, no I'm not, and then you're back up. I feel like I'm getting better, then you're back down, no I'm not. It's like feeling like you're successful in this cycle, feeling like things are about to come to a close, feeling like you're about to have a breakthrough, and then bam, you're like snatched back into that energy of feeling abandoned. Or they are, or both of you are. So with the 2 of Pentacles being here and the Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, it just looks like whatever the situation was, it was bringing out your worst traits and your worst qualities. But that's okay, because when a situation brings out your worst qualities, that means that there are things that need to be purged, you know? It's like every situation has the ability to be a learning experience. It doesn't have to be something that's shameful. It doesn't have to be something that, you feel like, oh, I put my worst qualities on display to this person, because sometimes it's just certain people hit certain nerves and they can trigger certain parts of you that maybe other people can't trigger. Maybe you're a very calm, cool, and collected type of person, and then you meet someone who pushes a button and now you're going like batshit crazy on them and blowing up their phone, and usually you're not like this. And like I said, there's certain people who can trigger certain things within you. And I feel like that's why we attract those specific types of people, because certain things need to be triggered in us. Because if they're not triggered, then how will we know that they're there? See what I'm saying? But I do feel like if some of you are feeling that way, if you're feeling a sense of like shame or guilt or something about the way you behaved in a relationship, try your best to let it go. It's easier said than done, but I feel like it's unnecessary energy that's being wasted. Because a lot of us do that. Like we'll be in a relationship, maybe we didn't behave the best way we could, or we feel like, oh, I should have done this better, and then we'll go over it in our minds over and over and over again, especially being air signs. We'll just analyze the hell out of it. And then it's like, okay, you feel like you wasted time in the relationship, and then you get out of it, and now you're wasting time thinking about the fact that you wasted time. And you're thinking about the ways in which you could have done things differently, when really you couldn't have done things differently because things happened exactly the way they were supposed to, from what I'm seeing. But yeah, I do feel like that situation, whatever it was, did bring out your worst qualities. Like it didn't allow you to shine the way that you know that you have the ability to, and that's fine. Because like I said, certain people bring out certain qualities in you. It's a learning experience, it's a healing experience, and at least you know that when someone is bringing out the worst in you, that person needs to be, you know, let go of until things transform, or maybe permanently. See what I'm saying? Because as air signs, I feel like we do like to have like a finale to the things that we go through romantically, or just things that people we're connected to. If we're going to separate, we like to have a finale, like, okay, we're separated now because of this, and this is what happened, and then boom, let's cut it off. And when we have that finale, we kind of get that sense of closure, because there's no confusion. We don't like to be in confusion as air signs, mental energy. Aquarius, I would say, more than Libra and Gemini, especially because Aquarius is fixed air. So it's like, when we don't have that finale and we're confused, we can stay stuck on the person. But at least, like, when you look back and you see, okay, this person really was bringing out my worst qualities. Like this person, he or she was bringing out the worst in me. That to me is a form of closure, and it's a form of like closing it out, even if that other person doesn't give you closure. Because the fact that someone was bringing out the worst in you just kind of lets you know exactly what type of relationship you were in. So that should be closure enough. See what I'm saying? So no need to beat yourself up. I know it's easier said than done. So let's see. Future position for air signs. I'm picking up so much energy right now. I keep forgetting that I'm doing elements, so it's like more people watching this video, because usually it's just one sign. But for elements, it's 3 signs. So I'm getting a lot of different scenarios. I know for some of you, I am picking up that work may be stressing you out a bit. Finances may be stressing you out a bit. So let's see if any of that comes up in the future position. Figured. So future position, first card out is the Page of Pentacles in the reverse. So lack of focus. For those of you who I just mentioned, like this is about finances, you're needing to focus, like laser focus, sharp focus. I know a lot of you probably watched the Beyonce documentary or the Beyonce film on Netflix. And I'm thinking that I'm picking up that a lot of you could be feeling like, I gotta step it up now, because you watch that. Because it's funny, because the Hermit card comes out, and that's the Virgo card, and Beyonce's a Virgo. So some of you could just be feeling like you really need to step it up in terms of work and career, and just pursuing and chasing your dreams in general, which could be a very good idea. Because like I say in a lot of my readings, sometimes the best way to get over your past is to have something to look forward to. If you have nothing to look forward to at all, how could you possibly get over a past situation that was that important to you? See what I'm saying? Like if it was a situation that was really emotionally charged and you really valued it, you really can't expect to get past it without having something to look forward to, or at least having something where you can focus on it in the present moment. Like if you have a lot of free time on your hands, you have nothing to look forward to, you're not doing anything currently, presently, it's like it makes sense that your mind will start to spiral back to that person, and then you might go on YouTube and watch a tarot reading about them, and then like it just starts to spiral. Then you go watch their social media and things of that sort. So a lot of you are just really needing to find something to focus on, and laser focus on it is what I'm seeing. Like pay attention to every nook and cranny, every detail, like be very focused. And I think that that's going to help you to remove yourself from this energy. And I think that like a lot of you are trying to undergo a transformation, but it's difficult to do so with the Death card being here in the reverse. You're holding on to a past way of doing things. You're holding on to the old you, to your old life, and you're needing to really push through this energy and let this go. I think that, you know, the old version of you served its purpose, you know, and it's time for you to blossom into this new version of you that you have in your mind, like this better version of you, but you're having a hard time breaking through. Let me pull one more for that. Yeah, the Seven of Wands. So some of you, you're having a hard time breaking through just because you felt defeated or overwhelmed in the past. I think that a lot of you have been in survival mode for a long time. It could have been because of this relationship or just in your life in general. It's like you didn't get your emotional needs met a lot. You've been faced with a lot of opposition, a lot of people that have betrayed you, or just people in your life in general that maybe put you down, or you just couldn't trust them, or they have negative energy. It's something about the environment that wasn't right in the past, and I feel like that's why you could easily feel so defeated and not really have anything to look forward to, because I think that all of those situations kind of took a toll on your confidence. And so it's looking like you're needing to, like I said, push through that energy by really laser focusing on something that you want and something that is important to you. That's going to help to build your confidence, and it's going to help you to move away from whatever the situation was. And it's going to take up a lot of your time. So any toxic people that you've been around or any negative things that you've been around, you won't even have time for it anymore, because you're going to be laser focused on whatever it is that you need to be focused on. So with the Hermit card being here, a lot of you are needing to kind of turn inward, kind of go into solitude a little bit. And I always say, be careful of this. You know, there's a balance between solitude and, there's a thin line between solitude and solitary confinement. You don't want to close yourself in too much to the point where you're completely blocked off from the world, and that can be very draining and depressing in itself, and that can do more harm than good. But I think that some of you are needing to kind of isolate yourselves from certain energies, from certain people. Just give yourself time to, it's like you don't want to give yourself too much free time to dwell on the past, but you do need time to think. You do need time to quiet your mind and to really think about what it is that you want to do moving forward. Because I feel like some of you are needing to rescue yourself, is what I'm hearing, with the Five of Pentacles and the Hermit card being here. It's like this feeling of abandonment is not going to go away. You're going to have to go and explore it. I think that a lot of you have been ignoring this feeling of abandonment and rejection, and you're just like not wanting to think about it. You're wanting to skip over it and just, I just want to move on to the next part of my life. It looks like you're needing to explore it, like face it head on, no matter how painful or difficult it may be. This is why a lot of people choose not to heal. They choose not to heal their childhood trauma. They choose not to heal their childhood wounds, because it's like you have to go backwards into some painful energy in order to heal that. And a lot of people don't want to deal with that. But you have to be brave enough to, because it'll be worth it in the end to just get through it instead of constantly carrying it with you. Because look at the Five of Pentacles card. Clearly these people have been through some shit. And how are they supposed to heal? It's like when you have been through this abandonment and it's a wound, you feel like this all the time. Like, you may not feel like it when you're in a relationship. It kind of puts a band-aid over it. But for the most part, the wound is still there. And so you're needing to, like I said, go inward and kind of rescue yourself and save yourself by facing these feelings. And possibly getting help for these feelings too, if you need to, like professional help. So the Emperor card is also here. So the Emperor is Aries energy. I'm thinking that a lot of you are needing to take on this masculine role. Like, you're needing to be like almost like a father figure to yourself, but in a gentle way. Like, not in a way that's like, okay, get the hell up, go. Like, who cares about your feelings? Like, not that type of father. Like a good masculine energy, a healthy, empathic masculine energy. It's funny because I was talking to my boyfriend earlier. He's an Aries, and I was channeling messages while I was talking to him. And basically the message that I was getting was that Aries, being the first sign of the zodiac, it's like, it's the warriors of the zodiac. I don't know what that is. I think it's like an alarm next door going off. I hope you can't hear that. Aries are the warriors of the zodiac, right? So they are like that masculine energy of the zodiac. And because of the spiritual shift that has been taking place, and because a lot of us in our generation are waking up spiritually, a lot more Aries people, or people who embody masculine Aries energy, are more empathic now. So what it means to be masculine is definitely transforming and changing. Before, masculinity was like this, I'm going to close my feelings off, and feelings are bad, and feelings are for the weak, and I'm going to exploit people and abuse them until I get to the top and get whatever I want. Like that was kind of like the masculine energy that was like the template or the blueprint for people. And now it's transforming into a more empathic masculine energy, like a masculine energy who takes action and who protects and who gives guidance. It's like a very high vibrational masculine energy that's starting to that a lot of people are starting to embody. It doesn't just have to be Aries, but I'm just using that as an example. It's Aries energy. Even if the person is not an Aries, even if you don't have Aries in your chart, a lot of you are needing to embody that higher vibrational masculine energy of protecting yourself, looking after yourself, going after the things that you know that you deserve and that you want in life, and being very fearless. Being very fearless about this. And even when you do have fear, pushing through the fear and going anyway. Because it just looks like there's some healing that needs to be done, and there's a major transformation that is trying to take place. And you're needing to have a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of wisdom, which you have gained. You've gained a lot of wisdom through this, and you're needing to have, like I said, a lot of just masculine protective energy over yourself, over your inner child. So we're going to pull one for the outside energy, which would be the person that you could possibly be dealing with, or that you were dealing with in the past. Okay. Seven of Pentacles. So it looks like this person that you were dealing with in the past, if you're in separation from them, it looks like they're in a period of reflection, with the Seven of Pentacles being in the reverse. So it's like a period of reflection where they may be thinking about the time that was spent, is what I'm seeing. The Ten of Cups. They're thinking about the time that was spent, and they're reevaluating the way that they've approached the situation in the past. Yeah, so it's interesting because both of you are mirroring each other. Both are going through some sort of transformation, like a major transformation at that. So we're going to look more into that in the extended, and then also we'll look more into your energy and give you further advice. So yeah, I think that is it. Thank you so much for watching, air signs, and I will leave the link to the extended down below, and I will see you on my Vimeo channel. Bye.